Okay, I'll go ahead and get started. Welcome everyone to my presentation on Technology Organization. My name is Ameya. I'm the Executive Director of Technology Organization, and let's just go and get started. So I'll be covering a couple things today. First, we'll actually talk about what the organization is, what we do. Then we'll go into our mission, objective, and our history. I'll cover briefly about our structure and how our classes work and how our teams work. And then we'll dive into our programs, how they're structured, the technologies we use. And then we'll briefly cover our blogs and then our education partners. And then we'll end with our socials and contact us. So let's just go on and get diving right in. So first, Technology Organization is a registered 501c3 nonprofit organization in the state of Georgia. We conduct technology classes and programming classes for students and adults of all ages. We teach various things like Python, Java, machine learning, HTML, and many more, which we'll get into this in the rest of the presentation. And here are just some of our statistics on the screen. And we've been operating since December 2016, and it's been about roughly 4 years now. So our mission is to help bridge the digital divide with seniors and help all people learn programming and technology skills. And our objective is similar. We help seniors with technology devices, help them incorporate technology into their life to the fullest potential. And we teach children and adults various technology and programming concepts. So a little bit about our history. The organization was co-founded by me and my sister in 2016, and we registered as a nonprofit in January of 2019. We started this organization to teach technology to seniors and programming to children and adults, like I mentioned before. We were inspired to start this organization after helping our grandparents actually learn how to use various features on their iPhones. At that time, we realized that the older generation have difficulties in keeping up with the pace of technology, even if they have the newest devices. So at that time, we started Technology Organization to help others like our grandparents with technology and programming skills. So this is a little bit about our structure. We have, like I said, various activities and various classes we teach. So we have different teams that run these different classes. So at the top, we have president, executive director, and then our organization partners. And then it kind of goes down into our different teams. We have some of our teams here, which are more centered on hackathon, Scratch, webinar and workshops, and then sessions for seniors. And I'll talk about what all those mean on, I think, the next slide. Besides that, we also break down into our other teams. We have a Python team, Java team, HTML, CSS, ML, we have a social media, and then we have a blog team. So all the instruction teams like Python, Java, HTML, CSS, and ML team, they all have a program lead. And this program lead is kind of the head of that team, and they really manage all the things that happen with the teams, all the classes, the instructors, the training, and so on and so forth. And then the teams are split into instructors and teaching assistants. So at every class, we have an instructor who teaches the class, and we have a couple of TAs on the call with the students to help them with any problems they're having, any technical difficulties, any programming concepts, things like that. So it helps provide students a way to get help besides just interrupting the class for the instructor. So jumping into our education programs. So we have a couple that we run, and then several others are also supported by our education partners. So first one, machine learning crash course, that's supported by our partner deeplearning.ai. And the ones in yellow are the beyond ones. I'll go into details. Just because of time, I can't go into all of them. Continuing on, we have Python programming course, Java programming course, which our Python and Java teams run. We have HTML CSS course, which our HTML CSS team runs. We also have an activity called Learn Scratch Yourself, which is actually just a link on our website, which is actually supported by Haven, which is another one of our education partners. So on that website, on the webpage on our website, we talk about what Haven is, and then there's a link to their online curriculum. And I believe there's a session earlier today about their online curriculum, so you guys might be a little bit familiar with that already. So it's just a way for younger students that we don't normally teach to get into programming using their Scratch curriculum that Codehaven has developed. We also have hackathons, which are supported by Major League Hacking, or MLH, which is another education partner. And then we have webinars and workshops, and then sessions for seniors. So first, let's go into our machine learning crash course. So this is kind of the structure and the softwares that we use. So like I said, it's taught in partnership with deeplearning.ai. It's a 5-week course, which is designed to expose students to computer vision and machine learning through hands-on projects and instruction. So how it works is we have a class each week for 5 weeks. Each of the classes are 1.5 hour long. So these students will learn concepts during the 1.5 hour classes through a PowerPoint deck we have, and also programming exercises that we run during the class. So the students are learning those concepts during the class, and then they're reinforced through extra resources outside of class that we provide the students, as well as a capstone project, which we challenge the students to complete at the end of the class, at the 5th class of the course. So that's kind of how this course is structured. This course is designed mainly for high school students and adults. That's kind of what we found works well because it requires a prerequisite of previous background in basic Python programming. So we use the background that students already have in Python programming, and we build upon it using machine learning techniques and machine learning concepts. And in that class, we use Google Colab and GitHub, which are completely free softwares. So GitHub is kind of like a file sharing system. It's also using Git, which is version control. So that's where we kind of host the capstone projects and host the different code and the data sets, so the students can easily download that data and download the code. And then Google Colab is where they actually do the coding. Google Colab is developed by Google. It's an online coding environment. It has support for CPU and GPU. It's completely free online, so that's what we use to power our machine learning concepts using CPUs and GPUs. And yeah, I can send a link to this PowerPoint after we finish. So next is our Python programming course. So in this course, it's a little bit different in the machine learning course. This course is designed as a 4-week course to expose students to programming concepts in Python, again, through hands-on homework and instruction. So students learn concepts through 1.5 hour classes, again, through the PowerPoint slides and programming exercises. So again, it's a similar structure to how the machine learning classes work. The classes are 1.5 hours long, but in this case, it's only 4 weeks long instead of 5 weeks. And it's also just PowerPoints that we just teach them the concepts through, and they can apply those concepts in programming exercises, as well as weekly homework that we provide them, and supplement material. So supplement material is a document that we compile. It's roughly every week around 20 pages. It just includes pretty much all the concepts we taught in that one class, as well as some other in-depth concepts and other things that we didn't have time to teach in that class. So if there are students interested in learning beyond the class that we're teaching, then we provide this resource to them to learn that in that material. So this class is built for middle school students and high school students, where we always welcome adults or even sometimes elementary students. It's kind of just anyone who wants to come and learn is able to come. There are no prerequisites for this Python course. Like I said, anyone who wants to come and learn are welcome. And then the main software we used is actually a website called Replit. So it's just spelled repl.it. It's kind of like an online coding platform similar to Google Colab in the last slide, but this is pretty intuitive and it's very beginner friendly. It supports a lot of languages like Python, Java, HTML. It does like R, like Ruby, and a ton of other languages that they support. And it's free to use, so it's a very great way for students to dive into programming, and without having to install anything on their computers, they can just code in an online setting. And it's very easy for people to actually work on these projects collaboratively. So it's kind of works how Google Docs works or Google Sheets, where multiple users can work on one code file at one time. And the students can also share this code using just easy links. So if you're interested in that, you can check it out at Replit, just repl.it. Next, we have actually an in-depth look at the Python class. So like I said, the course is designed as 4 weeks, and these are the actual concepts that we teach in all 4 weeks. So we start off with just some background in Python, the difference between Python 2 and Python 3, and then just some basic variables, operators, and then functions. And then in week 2, we go into comparison operators, other operators, um, strings and details and built-in functions. And then in week 3, we look at conditional statements and loops. So just if statements, while, for, range functions, things like that. And then last week, week 4, we wrap up the classes with just modules and packages, and then user-defined functions and keywords. So because the class is just 4 weeks, we of course can't teach them everything in Python, but we prepare some documents that we send out to the students at the end of the week 4 class. So if they want to continue learning, we give them some links to like some free courses, some free textbooks, things like that, where they can continue their learning beyond our classes. I'll pick up the pace a little bit. I think we're running a little bit out of time. So Java course, it's a similar structure to Python. It's again 1.5 hour classes, 4-week curriculum, and we use Replit, and it's designed for middle and high school students. It's very similar to the Python classes. We just transferred over to use Java programming. So it's very similar again. We have variables, operators in the 2nd week, then statements and conditionals in the 3rd week, and then just packages and modules in the 4th week. And then learn Scratch yourself. This is offered by Haven Yale. It's fully online, self-paced curriculum. The curriculum is developed by them, and we just have a link on our website to a link to that curriculum, and talks a little bit about Haven. And then of course, we don't really restrict any age group or prerequisites for this. Next is webinars and workshops. So these are 1-day classes designed to expose students to various concepts. So these are pretty much kind of a similar structure to our Python or Java classes or our ML classes, but they're just conducted as one class. So these could be like 1 hour or 1.5 hour class. We just teach in one day to teach them like a topic. Like recently we had a webinar on data security. So that's something that we just teach them in one class, and then we give them some resources to explore later on as well. So yep, similar concepts, and then there's no prerequisites and there's no softwares used for that either. Last couple of things. So we also have a blog that we run. These are on technology and other interesting academic topics. They go live usually Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 8 a.m. Eastern time. And then it's located on blog.teach-technology.org. So it's just a great way for students to learn about interesting topics and other academic topics. We cover things like artificial intelligence, medical technology, space, data security, things like that. Last couple of slides. So here are some of our education partners. We have deeplearning.ai, which supports our artificial intelligence classes, Haven Yale, of course, which helps with our Scratch curriculum, and then Bridging Tech Charitable Fund, the Educational Foundation Trust, and then Major League Hacking, which supports our hackathons. And just wrapping it up, one last slide, and then I can answer some questions. So here are socials and contacts if you want to reach out to us. Our email is info@teach-technology.org. Our website's just teach-technology.org. And then our blog is just blog.teach-technology.org. We also have a mailing list where we send out updates on our classes when registration opens. So if you're an educator and you have any students interested in actually attending these classes, you can sign up for the mailing list at teach-technology.org/subscribe, or have the students sign up there as well. And then on the right here, we have our socials. So on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, our account's just at teachtech.org. And then on LinkedIn, it's just our full organization name, Teach-Technology organization. So questions, and I'll share this copy of this slide because I went a little bit fast. Yeah, so all the content is taught in a 1.5 hours per week. We've over time we've revised this curriculum, and we've perfected it so that our instructors can teach those concepts in exactly 1.5 hours. We've gotten feedback from the students. Some students say that it's going fast, but most of the students say that it's well paced. So we also provide them after the classes, because we're teaching them virtual right now because of COVID-19. We provide them a recording to the class, as well as a copy of that PowerPoint deck, as well as that supplement material. So in case they missed anything or if they want to review anything, they can go back and check it out. But for the most part, the students can actually pick up the content pretty much in a week, in an hour and a half every week. Any other questions? Um, I'll convert this slide to Google Slides, and then I can put a link in, I think, the general chat, and you guys should be able to access it there. Okay, then if there's no other questions, I'll wrap it up. Thank you everyone for joining. Like I said, I'll send the link again. I know you guys have some other sessions to attend to. So again, yep, thanks for joining everyone.